Hey guys, it's Eugene and welcome back to another episode of Dreamcore Tech. Today, we're going to be taking a look at this motherboard. It's the ASUS ROG Crosshair VIII Impact. Now, I know the name is not very informative. It doesn't really tell you whether it's a X570 board or if it's even Intel. So we'll just take some time to break apart the name, to tear it apart, and I'll explain along the way. First, you have ROG. Now this is contrasted with things like Prime and the TUF. These series indicate the premiumness of the board and the features that are available on the board. So ROG typically refers to top of the line products from ASUS. This is an ROG board, obviously. Next, we have Crosshair VIII. Crosshair refers to ASUS's AMD motherboards. For example, this is the Crosshair VIII, and this will refer to the AMD X570 motherboards. The other Crosshair motherboard in the ASUS lineup is the Crosshair VIII Hero Wi-Fi. Finally, we've got an Impact at the bottom here. Traditionally, ASUS has reserved the word Impact for ITX motherboards, but this one in particular is Mini DTX. It's a little different from ITX, but we'll unbox the board first, and then we'll take a look at what the difference between DTX and ITX really is. So, as usual, cover for the board, and you've got the board right here. We'll put it aside for now. Of course, it comes with a whole host of accessories, including SATA cables, temperature sensor, I believe, Wi-Fi 6 antenna, and other utility related cables like fan connectors and stuff like that. Screws as well. Now, if you look underneath, there's something really interesting here. Now, this here is a daughter board. We don't see these very often. ASUS has called this their ROG SODIMM.2. I will take a deeper look into what this board is later when I fit it on. Aside from that, you've got the standard ROG coaster, a CD for drivers, your user guide, and a card that says Welcome to the Republic, together with stickers and labels for those of you ROG fans. Let's put the box aside and take a closer look at the board. Now, before I begin, here I've got a H310 MITX. This is an ITX size motherboard. This here on the left is the ASUS ROG Crosshair VIII Impact. This is the Mini DTX board. As you can see, there are many similarities between both boards. For example, one PCIe slot at the bottom, two RAM slots on the right, and the standard socket and stuff. But the difference is that the Mini DTX board is slightly longer than the ITX board. This allows the DTX boards to pack in more features, and it may come at a cost for some people. For instance, if you're using specialty cases like the Loop Ghost S1 or the Den A4, or other cases that require the use of a PCIe riser, then this board may not fit in your case. But for the vast majority of people, that won't be a problem. Let me explain why. For cases where the graphics card can mount on normally, this board should fit without a hitch. We're talking about cases where the graphics card has to be mounted in a different position. For example, using a riser cable to put the graphics card in this position in order to fit the board and the card in the case together. Those cases might have a problem with this board, but there are far and few between. Vast majority of cases have the card mounted normally anyway. In any case, be sure to check your case's compatibility for Mini DTX before buying this. Let's take a look at the rear I/O on the board. From the top down, we have some USB ports. I believe there are 6 of them that are USB 3.2 Gen 2. That's the faster 10 gigabit per second USB. And 2 USB 3.2 Gen 1. Actually, it's really easy to tell. Besides the fact that they're red, there's also a SS with a 10 at the corner, and that applies as well to the Type-C port over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, those are your SS10s. Moving down, you've got a SPDIF optical audio out, an Ethernet port, connectors for your Wi-Fi 6 antenna, a Q code LED. This is really helpful because in a small case like that, when you install it, it's going to be really hard to see where the Q code is. It's really helpful that it's on the rear of the board here. Next, you've got your USB BIOS flashback button, a clear CMOS button, and 3 audio outs. Now, I'm aware that these audio ports are LED illuminated, which makes it really helpful. Sometimes when the case is facing the wall, it's hard to see what color each port is and where to plug it in. So I'm aware that when you turn it on and LED shines out, making it really easy to plug your cables in. Now let's take a look at the Sodium Dot 2 expansion card. Now, this board has a Republic of Gamers word in front and 2 nice heatsinks over here. The chief purpose of this card is to allow M2 functionality on your motherboard. It slots in really nicely, it's keyed so you can't get it wrong. Just make sure you get it on the right side and push hard. Nice solid clicks should confirm that the board is in. Now, your M2 drives slot in one on this side and one on the other side. Of course, you have to remove the cover first. But what I really like about this board is the fact that it has 2 radiator fan headers accompanied by an addressable LED header over here, packing a ton of functionality into a board this small size. Plus, it makes good use of the vertical space available to you. Even with this board on, some of you may wonder, will you face cooler restrictions? We've checked. I tested it with the Cryorig H7. You can fit a H7 here without bumping into the board. You'll be able to fit, coolers of similar size onto this board. We didn't test any larger coolers because, thinking that you'll be putting this into a small chassis, I don't think you want a huge tower cooler there anyway. Most people using this board will likely water cool. In that case, no issues. Your water block will just go here and your radiator can mount elsewhere. Now, moving on to the rest of the board. First, we have an 8-pin EPS power connector right next to the 24-pin ATX power connector. I think this really makes sense. You can run both your power connectors together without having to run them obviously separately. So right next to that, we have your 2 DIMM slots supporting a maximum of 64 gigs of non-ECC RAM. Now, some of you may wonder, how can 2 DIMM slots support 64 gigs? This is using the new double capacity memory to achieve 32 gigs on each stick. But these aren't exactly available right now. You might have to wait for them to be more available in future. Right next to that, you see an AM4 socket indicating this is an AMD motherboard. The X570 chipset is right over here, indicating that you can support your Ryzen 3000 CPUs with full-fledged features like PCIe Gen 4 SSDs and a PCIe Gen 4 port over here. Further down the board, you see right-angled SATA connectors and front panel connectors. Now, it makes sense especially on this board because when you put your graphics card on, if your front panel connectors and your USB connector over here are face up, it's quite likely that your graphics card will hit or squish the cables that are pointing upwards. I like the thought that ASUS put onto this board. Having them right angled means that it won't interfere with the graphics card. But you have to note, if your motherboard comes really close to your power supply or to the bottom of your case, those cables may be interfering with the case then. On the rear, you see a nice solid aluminum backplate. That's a nice touch from ASUS. I understand that underneath the backplate, there's a copper heat pipe connecting the VRMs and the PCIe 4 slot to the rear backplate. This helps especially given the limited cooling capacity of the small systems this will be installed in. Speaking of VRMs, this is an 8+2 power phase board evidenced by the chokes here and here. Now, the 8 chokes that are over here are cooled by active cooling. You can see 2 small fans underneath the IO armor shield over here. One fan is for the VRMs and one fan is for the chipset. Just to be clear, this is the fan cooling the chipset and this is the fan for the VRMs. Next, we've got a dedicated Supreme FX audio card, which ASUS claims limits signal interference. But we suggest you test it out for yourself if you've got especially sensitive ears. The good news is, you'll be getting the same Supreme FX S1220 codec that's on larger ATX motherboards with support for up to 7.1 channel audio output with the help of your chassis' front panel audio jacks. Clearly, this board is designed for high performance in a small form factor. If you want to dabble with overclocking in a small form factor, I think this is a great choice. Its slightly larger mini DTX form factor does mean that some specialty chassis owners might have a bit of problem fitting this in, but shouldn't be a problem for the vast majority of users. Just make sure you check your chassis compatibility for mini DTX once again. If you recall, about a month ago, we ran a giveaway for the Parlit RTX 2070 Super Jetstream. It's time to announce the results. I've already drawn the winner using a random comment picker, and congrats to Judson Valianto with the comment, "Informative video, hope to win these beasts." Well, congrats, you did. Reach out to us at support@dreamcore.com.sg and we'll hook you up. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and let us know down below in the comments what you'd like to see next. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications for more videos like this one. We'll see you soon.